Next, before we get started, this is gonna be a pretty short video. Hopefully, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I know there's been a lot of reviews already on this antenna, the jpc-12. But I'm gonna put my opinion into the mix next. Before we even get started, I wouldn't recommend this antenna. Not for the price. If it was cheaper, I probably would recommend it. But there's a couple things I don't really like about this antenna. Two big things. The price of the antenna is pretty high, $140 for a antenna just for someone getting into the hobby. Another problem I did find with it was the grounding. The radial setup is terrible. Because the wires are so small with being that ribbon cable, they get tangled every single time you use them. Next, you have to fight with them to get them untangled. They also break pretty easy. I did end up breaking them just on accident because they're so thin. Another problem I have with this antenna is the whip is only a 8-foot whip. Next, you aren't gonna get very good performance on 20 meters like you would want with this antenna, 20 and 40 meters. On 40 meters, it's only a 1/16th wave. Next, you're not gonna get a very good gain out of it. I've tried it. It's okay on 40. It really doesn't work very well. On 20 meters, it is better, but I do have a hard time getting much past any station that's running a quarter wavelength vertical. If you're only going to use this antenna for 10 meters, it's totally fine because you don't even need the coil at all. You don't even need the extension tubes either. You can just screw the antenna right into the bottom of the base and go right there. It's a perfect 1-to-1 match. It's about a 1.4 SWR in 10 meters. No coil or anything. Again, if your primary use is just 10 meters to like 15 meters, you're okay. You will need a tuner of some sort for the 15 and 12 meter band. You can try to use a coil. It is a little bit harder to do. You still need an SWR meter. That's another thing. To tune the antenna, even if it's just a built-in one on your radio, that is better than nothing. If you already have the antenna, there's two main upgrades I would recommend doing. The first upgrade is ditch the original radials and go with the radial plate. It is $20. Next, it's kind of steep for what it is. It's just a round piece of metal with some standoffs on it. But do this with just some type of wire. I just honestly use just speaker wire. Cut it to about 16.5 feet for 20 meters or 33 feet ish if you're going to use the 40 meter band. Another really big upgrade is to get this. You don't have to get this exact whip, but something like this, at least 5 meter whip. This is a 5.5 meter whip. But to be able to get a true quarter wavelength on everything from 10 meters to really actually 6 meters to 20 meters, this will be a true quarter wave. You also don't need the coil at all. This will just screw right in the bottom. No coil, no extension tubes. This works a lot better. If you don't have the jpc-12 yet and you're already looking for an antenna, this is what I would recommend. For $40, you get a antenna. It is rated for 300 watts. I mean, that's going to be more power than most people are going to be using, at least portable at least. But the big thing is it is already a quarter wave whip it comes with for 20 meters to 6 meters. I know it says it can do, that's what it says, 14 megahertz to 30 megahertz. That is 10 meters to 20 meters. It is, this block right here is only like this big. It's just a couple inches big. It's super portable. Again, the whip is a quarter wave whip. Next, you're gonna have much better performance, and the price is a lot better. For $40, you're gonna have better success with this antenna on 20 meters, especially 20 meters, than the jpc-12. This antenna doesn't really come with a carrying case, but it's also only, you can see, 4 pieces. Next, it really isn't a big deal. You actually don't need a tuner with this one. You do need an SWR meter if you're going to use anything other than 20 meters, because you'll have to adjust the whip to the right length, especially for 10 meters and 12, 15, 17, etc. And it does, you see, have the kind of atrocious grounding solution, but you can go back and you can get this with it, or just try the ribbon cable setup. Some people don't like these whips because it isn't as standard as a thread. It's a 10 millimeter thread instead of the more common, I think it's 3/8 thread. But if you don't have an antenna and you're looking at it and everyone's saying the jpc-12, I would consider going with this, at least to just try it for $40 instead of $140. This won't get you on 40 meters or 80 meters. But what I'll tell you is the jpc-12 is not a really good antenna for 40 meters. It's okay, but the radials are way too short. The whip is way too short to have any success really at all. Next, that's the kind of the short term of the video. The second part of the video is going to be how to set up the antenna and what it comes with. You don't have to watch that if you are like, no, I'm not even gonna get it. But that's just my opinion. Do your own research, and that's also my experience. Next, thanks for watching, and have a good day.
To start with, you're gonna want to get the bottom piece and the grounding wire. Next, you're gonna have the ground stick, and you're gonna have the grounding wire. I unfortunately don't have it because in the matter of testing, it did break. Next, that is something I'll talk about later. But you put the grounding wire between here and the bottom and screw it in. From here, you just put it to the ground. Pull out your extension tubes, all 4 of them. You don't have to use these on certain bands. If you're using this for 10 meters, just put the whip right onto this part down here. You don't need the extension tube, and you don't need the coil even. So just screw all these in. Pretty fast assembly. Kind of like that. For the coil, it does have 2 markings on it. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see them, but there's these 2 little red markings. One here. It's this top one. It's higher to the top. Is set for 20 meters already. There's one down here set for 40 meters. See if you guys can see this. Kind of bright in the sun. I have checked them. They are very good. The one for 20 meters is a 1-to-1 for SWR. You just got to make sure it's right on it. This little coil is a little finicky sometimes, and it seems like you're getting really poor operations. Just check to make sure the coil is right. The whip, it's only an 8-foot whip. That is one thing I'll talk about later in the video. But I just screw it in. If for people that are a little shorter, you might want to pull the whip out first. Make sure it's pulled out all the way, especially the top part. I found sticks a little bit. And that'll be about it. Something I didn't show is the grounding wires is just a ribbon full of wires. You will want to pull at least 4 of those apart. But except for that, that's the whole assembly. It just takes about 5 minutes, and yeah, I'll talk about more about the antenna after I get back inside.